The film begins from a playground, where some boys and girls are playing. Some security guards were watching them. Because they are in charge of all of their activity, a surgery mark was visible near the security guard's ears, as this place was operated. But suddenly, the siren rings. Like it was a warning alarm of something. Even watch in those girls' and boys' hands was beeping. After this, they were taken to another place in a queue. It was a different world. It's the different part of the earth. It was on height. Here we discover a secret. Those lines near guards' ears were surgery lines. They were fitted with human skin. They used to keep repairing it. They were monsters, as evidenced by the hairs on their skin. We discover a mysterious man whose skin was losing and he fixes it. Now it's about the kids and where they were taken. The scene of the kids is shown. They were restrained by chairs. Their hands and feet were also tied. They were subjected to laser-emitting machine experiments. The laser hits a tower. As a result of the tower collapsing, there was an earthquake. A boy awakes. Jake's name was Jake, and he began drawing. The drawing of his dream. He frequently has visions, which is normal. Nobody knows why this is happening. Jake's mother, on the other hand, does not believe Jake when he tells her. That boy used to stay worried because of it. He falls into depression because none believe in him until today. If Jake goes to the doctor, he used to blame it on a lack of sleep. Now Jake couldn't do anything. Jake comes out and moving home, he notices a weird man. He was adjusting his skin. It means that the monsters were not only in the visions, but they also exist in reality. Meanwhile, a strange man approaches Jake and asks him to look after him. Because monsters like this are abducting children. Jake gets scared hearing it and thinks now he will not see any dream. Maybe because of my dreams I am seeing these monsters everywhere. He sleeps after thinking this. This time, a magician comes into his dream. He can manipulate people with his conversation or magic. He can read their minds and can also create confusion in their lives. The magician was also a monster, not a human. A son with his father is shown sitting in the forest. They have the skill to use the gun. Meanwhile, they hear someone whistling. He was none other than the magician who was moving to them. They point their guns at him as they see him. The magician kills his father with magic due to it. He dies immediately. He couldn't harm that boy because he was a pure soul. The boy wasn't scared of anyone. When the magician was leaving, the pure soul shoots him. The magician was not less than anyone. He holds the bullet in his hand. Jake sees an old building in his dream that was like a house. This time he again awakes while being scared. He starts drawing it on paper. He understands there is something associated with this house. He searches on the net, but when he didn't get any info, he uploads the picture of his sketch on the internet. He asks everyone to contact him if they will know about this house. When he leaves, his mother informs him that he must go to the doctor today, along with 2 other people who have arrived at his house. Jake dislikes those men, because they were also monsters in real. They've donned the He-Man suit and have come to kidnap Jake. In the meantime, Jake obtains the address of that house. Fortunately, he runs there because that house was close to Jake. He goes there right away, but it doesn't appear the house has been empty for years. There were strange things inside, and it appears that the house is alive. Jake enters a code into a machine, 1919. This code seen behind the guard at the beginning of the film. Do you know, for what purpose this code was? To open the way to the other world. A portal opens when Jake dials the code. The house stops him before he moves inside it. It holds Jake tightly. Jake releases himself with all his powers. He opens his arms and comes out of that portal. Now Jake has arrived in another world. It was a deserted place. There wasn't anybody even at a far distance. The magician also knows about it. That someone has opened a portal on to go another world. On another side, while going, Jake feels thirsty. He sees a water bottle in front. He picks and drinks water from it. Before it, the man with a pure soul arrives named Roland. Roland points a gun at Jake, but Jake gets astonished after seeing Roland. Bekassu, he has seen him in visions. Roland asks, "Who are you?" Jake tells him, but Roland doesn't believe him. He lifts and says, "I will throw you down from this ditch. Tell me, are you a companion of that magician?" Jake says, "No, I am a kid and I used to see dreams. My visions are hidden in those dreams." He also shows his drawings to Roland that he has made after seeing visions. Roland understands that he is speaking the truth. He takes him with him and moves in search of the magician. He rushes to the house after learning that someone has opened the portal. He finds a small piece of wood there. Jake's blood was on it, and he gave it to a man. The man was a monster who could tell you everything about the blood just by tasting it. After tasting the blood, the man informs the magician that the child's name is Jake. He has gone into the portal. On the other side, Jake makes a drawing in the other world. It on the earth and was looking like a circle. It has different parts. Roland tells him there are many worlds in this circle including ours. There is a tower in its midpoint. It saves and protects every world from demons and evil souls. The magician on the dark side wants to destroy this tower. He is using the kids for this. Bekkasu he can't do it alone. We had seen the machine from which the children were tortured before. The experiments were being carried out on them. It emits rays that fall on the tower. Those rays were annihilating it. The magician was behind this. This was not an ordinary ray, but rather a purity in a ray was present in your children. It is not possessed by any magician or demon. Those rays become strong after joy. The magician will benefit from the fact that the tower will no longer protect any world. All worlds will be ruled by the magician. There will be numerous earthquakes as a result of it. You were told to be careful again and again because he wants to use you. While listening to him, Jake listens to his father's voice. He moves towards it. Without telling Roland, the man was resembling his father. Jake moves his hands forward going to that side. Meanwhile, the man turns into a monster. Actually, the monster was dressed as Jake's father. Roland appears from behind Jake before he holds him or harms him. He begins firing at the monster incessantly. The monster leaves. After his departure, a monster comes and lifts Roland. Roland gets injured. After it, the monster moves forward to Jake. While thinking Roland is injured and he can't save Jake. But it was his thinking Roland can't leave anyone alone. He shoots and kills him. On another side, the magician arrives at Jake's home. Jake's stepfather and mother live there. Going there, the magician casts a magic spell. Jake's father dies due to it. Controlling his mother, he starts seeing her all visions. Light wants to know something about Jake. When he completes his work he also kills Jake's mother. Jake and Roland reach a town while walking. They meet a beautiful and a wise girl there. She can tell the address while seeing the picture or any sketch. Roland shows her a drawing made by Jake. She tells them the way. Before it, she says to Jake, "Recognize you, you are a special boy. You are very pure. The evil people want the light you have inside you because it has a lot of power. Aside from that, you have a natural talent. You don't know about it." Jake says no. The girl makes his ability prominent in him. It was, they can talk to each other without speaking. It means they can communicate by teleporting. The girl requests that Jake share her visions with her. "I will assist you with it." Jake starts sharing his visions with her. The girl discovers that where they should go. And what should they do? She goes tells Roland, but there was a problem. Many difficulties must be overcome in order to arrive at the destination. It had been a long journey. It means they'll be there in half a year, or 6 months. There was the risk of their lives as well. Meanwhile, Jake arrives. He says to Roland, "Don't worry, I know another residence of that magician. It is his base. There was another portal, and we could go through it while the portal was open. That location is on Earth." Now they move to that portal. Finally, they reach through that portal. The magician knows this, so he sends his monsters to attack them. Those monsters also attack the townspeople. They scare them and destroy their things. They set everything on fire. Roland says to Jake, "Don't get panicked. I will control everything." On the other side, the magician was controlling all demons. Roland prepares his gun. The demons were coming out of the fire. But Roland shoots them immediately. A girl was weeping because her parents were inside. And the demons have destroyed their house. Roland shoots those demons while going inside the house. Roland was focused on the outside, and his gun was empty of bullets. When he was loading bullets into his gun, he was attacked by a monster. His bullets shattered. He pushes Roland's face and body while putting his head on the table. Soon, Roland pushes him back and loads the bullets in his gun. He also shoots him. They sigh contentedly. Everyone in town brings buckets of water to put out the fire. Roland has also killed all demons one by one. Without getting late, Roland and Jake finally step in onto Earth. Now they were on Earth. Jake immediately brings Roland to the hospital. Because he was injured, he feels better after taking some painkillers. The magician also arrives in the town. There was the beautiful girl and he asks her where are Jake and Roland, for what they have come. The girl tries not to say a word. But due to the magician's magic, the girl tells him everything. The magician comes to know everything. The mysterious man who was warning Jake that he has to be careful. He, in fact, was the protector of the magician's base, the place where the portal is. Jake meets him and takes all the visions while reading his mind. That where is the other portal of the magician? Jake asks Roland to come with him to his home. He wanted to meet his mother. Going home, they were broken seeing that Jake's mother was no more. She has changed into ashes. Roland needs more bullets because he has used all bullets. He goes to a weapon shop. The magician also arrives, who comes there to kill him. Jake, on the other hand, has gone out until then. When Roland shoots that magician, the bullet shoots the mirror behind him and it breaks. The magician was saved, and the shop's shutter was also lowered as a result. Roland instructs Jake to flee from there. Jake notices a bald man behind him who wants to take him in his arm. Jake runs immediately. The magician orders the shopkeeper to kill Roland, because he has forcefully taken bullets from you. Obeying him, he shoots at him. Roland kills the shopkeeper while shooting at his neck. Now magician and Roland again start arguing. Roland tries to move out, but the way was opening somewhere else. On the other side, Jake is shown. He was escaping and notices police cops in front. He moves towards them, but a van comes immediately and a man makes Jake in it. They move in front of the cops while shutting the van's door. Whenever Roland shoots the magician, he disappears. Finally, Roland comes out of the store and starts searching for Jake. He didn't find him. The magician disappears and moves in his base. His men brought the kidnapped Jake to him. Here, the magician comes to know this boy is pure. He emits rays and has a of light. Jake joins the magician in the portal. He forces him to sit and adjusts a device on his head to emit the rays from him. Jake has control over himself, and he cannot emit light. While using his abilities, he talks to Roland in his mind through teleportation. He also tells him the code, 1919, so Roland will come inside portal. The magician tortures Jake here. Jake feels weak and Roland can't stop after seeing it. There were guns in his hands. He was shooting at the magician continuously. While shooting, he also skits. As a result, there will be no place where the bullet will not strike him. He shoots at the mirror upside. As the mirror was about to fall at him after breaking, the magician stops it. He throws those mirror pieces towards Roland with his magic. Roland also crushes them while shooting them. Unfortunately, a piece of mirror pricks Roland's hand, and the gun falls. Roland must save Jake, who is being tortured. With one gun, he advances on the magician. He waits for the chance while hiding behind some boxes. The magician was also moving forward while searching for him. Roland takes out the mirror from his hand through his mouth. He starts firing while measuring some angles from there. Bullets hit the magician while collapsing. Previously, the magician was catching those bullets and they didn't hurt him. Roland's shooting abilities were undeniably impressive. He fires due to it, a ladder falls on the magician. He stands up and throws those bullets towards Roland. This time, a bullet shoots at Roland's hand. The magician throws concrete at Roland. He believes he died as a result of it. Roland had fainted after falling, and was covered in dust. Jake was concerned because his hands were injured. That how will I escape from here? The magician brings fire in his hand and Jake sees it. He tells Roland via teleportation that you must raise a gun. He's approaching you, and you must shoot this time. When the magician approaches Roland, he shoots while spinning his gun. The magician didn't know about it. He was about to catch the bullet with his hand. The bullet collides with something and enters the magician's heart. In this situation, Roland has proven to be an expert in his shooting abilities. He reaped the benefits of it. Roland stands up and, when the opportunity presents itself, fires at the magician. He also frees Jake by shooting the machine to which Jake was tethered. Jake runs towards Roland. After it, Roland blasts the base of the magician. The last scene of the movie is shown, where they take the kids with them. The tower is shown, saved. The kids were also saved. When Roland arrives in their world, he tells Jake, I know you're alone in this world. You don't have any family left. You've become a good friend of mine, so why don't you join me in my world? Roland's words are